Um, some of the people who live around Cobham will know about Chatterbus. It's a public bus company. It is actually run by volunteers, and it's charity. So it's set up for the users, not a, somebody said about bus companies and out there for the profit. We don't make a profit as such. So we sent out a questionnaire at one stage to find out where people wanted to go. But at least we do listen to our users and we do try and provide what we need. It was set up because Cobham and Weybridge is no communication to you, and no communication between Cobham Station of it. And therefore we felt that by being able to get people to Weybridge, you get into the job sector because there's a very large area of deprivation of them, despite the fact that we don't see it. And therefore it's a real problem if people can't get jobs. And also shops in problem that's very expensive. So we were taking to books. So route is a bit of a problem, but I'll talk about that later. Chatterbus has been doing the Surrey run for Oxshott to Cobham Free School. And this has been great for Chatterbus because obviously we get paid for it, which makes it financially viable. Unfortunately, Surrey's situation has meant that it's a bit challenging sometimes financial, or every time financial, and they are trying to reduce these. So they're setting up walking cars to school. And unfortunately, the one from Oxshott to the Cobham Free School is through Oxshott Woods. So we don't know whether or not the parents will actually want to use this. And if not, we would. We always take some private people as well as society people to school. So we don't know at the moment. And therefore, what our finance is going to do, whether or not we're going to have a partial speed run, gone school run, or whatever. That it takes more vehicles off the road than anything else, and at a time when you really need to in the morning, when everything's chugging along, stopping and starting, and generally tempers and it's also safer for children because parents don't want to put their children through the roads on roads if they get them be injured, or obviously it's dangerous. And it's a real issue with speeding and everything else. If you set up, I was a school governor, I'm sort of very recently, would set up a walking bus. It's not the children you have to convince, it's pets. Our walking, what they did do, and was more successful, was they gave prizes to the children who did cycle or walk. You know, the person who went most that week or whatever got a little prize or star or whatever it was. So in that perspective, incentivizing the children was helpful. And it's certainly worth considering. The other thing that obviously makes a big difference is commuter traffic. And certainly Walton and Cobham are separated from their stations by quite a distance. So quite a lot of traffic goes by car, obviously. So anything you can do to influence that would be really helpful. And the idea that cost shelters have real-time times is rubbish. They had the timetable times. But of course, down Surrey, and particularly around here, the timetable times and the bus times are frequently different. And it's been well known for Chatterbus to be delayed and the bus to come off the shelter, so everybody assumes it's gone. And it hasn't arrived here. So Chatterbus actually has a tracker of it. And you can build on your phone onto the website, on the top right-hand corner of a picture of the bus. So you can work out exactly where it is. You know it's gone, which is really helpful. And we've had that ever since we set it up because it was just simple. So our service is 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. to try and make sure we pick up as many commuters as possible. Because in the middle of the day, as I said, we're set up to help people. We have low-floor buses so that people who are disabled can live on wheelchairs and cry and better. We are really set up to get people to where they want to be, whether it's the job centre or the health centre or whatever. And a lot of these people have concessions. So, but we hope we'll still be able to do some sort of school loan. We also have contracts with some of the senior living places, which means that we go in there and pick up and drop once or twice a day. And because it's a financial contract, again, it brings us money, and that makes it more viable for us to run the service for everybody else. We also looked at joining Surrey Connect, which from our point of view, it doesn't really work because by the time we've done the commuters and the school loans and everything else, it's too short a bit in the middle of the day to make it really useful for people. And if you were setting up something from scratch and a local authority were doing it, I think you could do it because you have more buses, and so that you could provide this sort of service, and that again could be a paid-for service, which meant that you'd bring in more money. Because the real issue at the end of the day, how do you finance it? And it doesn't matter whether it's putting in cycle lanes or anything else, and like that. And go back to cycle lanes. They're talking about putting a development near Cobham Station, and there's already a crossroads by Cudley Station with a pedestrian crossing just up the road because it wasn't safe to put it too close to the station. And if they put in the houses they're talking about, it's going to make the dramatic difference to use. Basically, rural buses don't make money, so you have to do everything you can to try and bring in funds. The other thing I was going to say is we are members of Better Plates, which we talked about earlier. And one of the ironies of my talking to you today is the person who's going to come doesn't drive anymore. And he said to me, I can't get there because there's no public transport.